People keep mentioning there's not a great Groh tutorial, so I'm going to see if I can knock one out real quick, and let's jump right into it. Groh's very safe and very evasive for an all-rounder. He's got tools for most situations and a pretty good stance called Avenger for mix-ups in games. He's not super complicated, except that you kind of just need to know what he can do in most situations because he's got to use his specific tool. Someone on the Discord said, you're not going to get a lot of damage with Groh. You're rarely going to, two combo somebody or something like that. But you're also not going to take a lot of damage. You're usually going to eat like AAs and BBs and 2As, at least if you're playing him safely. You'll still get called out and launched occasionally, but it's usually not because someone blocks something. So with that said, let's start with approach options. So when you're, in your neutral game like this, dancing around, the two main ones are 6.6 AA and 6.6 BB. So if you want to get in, these are both great tools. 6.6 AA was AA punishable before the patch. It got safer, so it might only be 10 frame punishable. It might not even be that. I haven't tested it. I haven't looked. I haven't had time. But short version, it's a good move. It goes high then mid. It catches steppers. It knocks down. It can ring out. It's got a step in the beginning. Like, watch this. Here we are, start, and if I do just 6.6A, I'm literally behind him now. No, not that behind him. Excuse me. So it's a good way to approach just because you'll dodge verticals. Likewise, 6.6 BB has the same step in a different direction, and 2 hits. This is safe from everything on block, even 10 frame punishes. Maybe there's some really, really fast thing I've forgotten, but you're not going to take damage after it. They can block the first hit and GI the second, so be aware of that, but that's kind of more advanced than I want to get. Those are your two main approach options. I'll also use 6.6 A+B. It's not safe. It's -16, but it pushes really far back on block, which means that very few people can punish it. I really should lab out what the punishes are and whatnot, but it's not a bad move to occasionally throw out. That's something we'll talk about later. So those are sort of my 3 start of the round, dancing around, I need to get in and start this game options. There's others like callouts like 6B+K or 6A+B, but I'll get to those later. So, oh, and sorry, there's one other, which I might as well bring it up now, and that's 2A+B. This has ridiculous range and tracks really, really well, and it gets more range in Soul Charge. So keep this move in mind. Like, if you just want to get in, if someone's really looking for it, it does look like your other guard impact, but or sorry, guard break. But they can 6B or 9B it or something. But it's not bad at all, and it's plus as hell on block because hey, it guard breaks. So yeah, it's not a bad way to get in and start your pressure. So. Let's go to A attacks. Again, AA is good. He's standard character. AAA doesn't do anything really cool. It just turns them around a little. Does it? No, that would be cool. Can't have that. His main tool, at least in my matches, I lean a little heavily on this, but it's still good, is 6A. Sorry, yeah, that one. So it doesn't look that impressive, but if you hold 6, you go into Avenger. Now, going into Avenger is risky. There's only 2 moves, which I'll show you after this, that can get you into Avenger on block at plus frames. On hit, every Avenger transition is safe, so go ahead on hit. However, you can't hit confirm all of them. So for example, you cannot hit confirm this. You have to commit to it. You got to throw the 6A out and just, you can't just reaction to it. But there's 6AA, which is not that. There we are. Now, if they block the first, or if they take the first hit, but it's not a counter hit, they can block the second hit of that. But it's a mid, it knocks down, it tracks pretty well, it can ring out. Let's show that really quickly just because, it's cool. And most importantly, it's very, very hard to read which one a Groh is going to do, especially if you mix it up. So, oh, and it gets a, wow, that took forever, sorry about that. And it gets better in Soul Charge. So what you're usually going to do is if they're playing defensively or if you want to just throw something out in neutral and you're, at a decent range, that's not a bad option because you can go into Avenger sometimes and start your mix-up games, or you can just do both and it's still safe. So by all means, use that move. 2A, of course, good. 3A, this is noteworthy because it's a middle that comes out fast and tracks horizontally, so it stops Sophie and Talum and Taki from doing stupid tech crouch BS that moves all around. Or tech step. So yeah, just remember the move. It's neutral on hit unless it counter hits, so it's not a great move, but it's useful in those matchups. You know, your jumping A is jumping A. Do I care about this? That's more advanced. Just know it exists. If you want to mess with that in your own time, you can. The other important one, though, is 4A. 4A is obviously slow, but again, it's got built-in step. It will dodge some verticals, and it goes into Avenger. You should always go into Avenger after 4A because it's +2 on block, and it's one of the few ways that you can get into it safely on block. So once you do this, you're in a mix-up, no matter what. It is slow, it can get stuffed, but, you know, be aware it exists. That's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, duh, 1A. 1A is slow and unsafe, but very long-reaching low. You know, whoops, let's go about, I don't know, here? Yeah, good enough. It can get from a little bit farther from that, especially if they're attacking into it. Don't just throw it out willy-nilly, but it's one of your main ways to punish rollers, and it's not great at that because they can block it and punish you. And it's a good way to just chip damage in there from a distance. It gets way better in Soul Charge because it just does a crap load more damage due to a follow-up. So, those are his main A's. Oh yeah, 2-2 and 8-8A. This is kind of your combo starter and ring out option. Normal hit gives you that. Charged hit, that was 8-8A into 6-6 BK. And then charged hit gives you a crumple. Now, that can lead into a lot of stuff where you learn about how freaking obnoxious Groh's hitboxes can be. But the main thing there is that's one of the few times where I say you should probably pop your super. Groh really likes using Soul Charge, but this is good damage. It doesn't scale hard. It's nice and reliable. It's going to be slow as hell because my computer's been struggling today. But there you go. Nice and cinematic. 109. Cool. That's most of it. Yeah, that we went over. That we went over. Yeah, we don't care about. Cool. Bs. 3B. It's your standard launcher. Your combos are 4-4 B+K. A little hard to do, but it can wall splat. It can ring out. It's good damage. It's your highest damage. Obviously CE. I don't do that unless it'll close around, and even then I probably miss it a lot. And then 6-6 B+K. You can technically go into Avenger after 6-6 B+K. Do not after a 3B. It leaves them in a really lousy position, especially if you're spacing your 3B right. And you don't have a real mix-up. Like, if they're even remotely aware of the matchup, they'll just roll on the ground, and you won't be able to do anything. And you'll probably get punished, so don't do it. Or you can 6BB. Now, this one, you'll want to go into Avenger because you'll actually be close enough to maybe do a threat with your Ks. But we'll get into that when we get into Avenger. So with that said, 6BB is also a good move. It has decent range, and you can hit confirm the Avenger. So if you go into Avenger on block, they can AA you every time or 2A you. However, you shouldn't because you really can hit confirm this pretty late. Like, I delayed that as long as I could. So you got to build reflexes. You got to be aware. You've got to really be thinking about it. But yeah, you shouldn't be going into Avenger on this if it's blocked, ever. It's safe as well, so yeah, that's a thing. 3B is not safe, but it got safer. I think it's surprisingly safe for a 3B, so that helps. 2288B, this is one of Groh's big punishes. You step something, you do this, you get a lethal hit. It gives you, is there a way to, yeah, well, the easiest way is going to be this. Do a, how do I do this again? No, stand normal. What am I doing? Oh, attack, God. Sorry. Let's do that. Reset. 8AB into BBBB, or Avenger BB. So, that's the combo. I'm not going to show it again just because I don't want them to be obnoxious, but it's 2288B, 8A plus B, 6, and then BB, BB. Carries really far, does really good damage. It's one of your best punishes. If you are paying attention and you step, I really recommend using it. The move itself can ring out, but it's not great on normal hit. As you can see, it's not a huge amount of damage. It's got pretty good range. It will whiff a lot on people like X, where you step them and you do this and you feel like you earned it, but her stance is all wonky, and like, so you go whiff and now you're both lost. So just be aware it's not perfect. 1B, Really fast low, kind of hard to read with how Groh does a lot of twirly crap with his stuff. It can go into BB, but that second hit is not guaranteed unless you counter hit. So it's mostly safe for soul charge. That said, if you're like in their face and pressuring them, throwing this out just to like check them low, I don't think it's safe. But if they take the hit, now you're plus and you can continue pressure. So it's a good tool. 2B is your basic 2B. Use it when they're like doing stupid crap on the ground. 9B, whatever. 4B, yeah. 4B, not gonna go into 4-4B. This is a good move. It's basically used to put pressure on turtles and keep people. I guess just check them is the best way to say it. It'll punish people who like to lay on the ground. It doesn't catch rollers though. The main thing is it's plus on block, and it forces crouch on block. So it's a very good way if they're just turtling up to check their bar and screw with them. 6B we went over. 6-6BB we went over. Not much else to say on the B's. K's. Obviously normal K, you know the drill. 2K, same thing. Sorry, 2K. 1K, also good. It's a nice low hit. The tech crouches. Keep it in mind. It's a good way to punish rollers because I think it's safer than 1A. 3K, I'm not going to go into that. Oh, 4K. Another mid. So just like this one and this one, it's one of your few horizontal mid options. This one knocks down, can wall splat, can ring out. It's a little bit slower, but it's important because you don't have many ways of stopping that kind of crap. 6-6K is a safe launcher. Gives you this. That's 8B+K into 6-6B+K. Again, don't transition. Not much else to say there. Big punish options. Yeah, that's going to be it for Ks. So, A+Bs. This is your standard A+B. You can go into Avenger after it. You always should, because if it's block or hit, it's going to be super, super plus and give you nice mix-ups. 2A+B, I think I already covered. If not, this is a great move. It tracks. It hits ridiculously hard, especially when they get counter hit. The only thing is it won't hit grounded, so just be careful with that. 4A+B is more tricky stuff. That don't ever use outside of a combo. It's terrible. Oh, sorry, 6A+B. So this. I'm going to go the full distance on this one. Do not transition into Avenger after 6A+B. This move can go into Avenger if you hold 6 afterwards, forward. Don't do it. It's not worth it ever, because what you could do is you could, where is it, counter hit them. So there's your lethal hit, and now you get lots of damage, right? Here is the Avenger lethal hit combo. Whoops, I screwed up. With a wall, it might be worth it. I'm not going into that. 71. All right, cool. Here is the non-Avenger lethal hit combo. Now, I threw in the tech crowd, or the, well, basically the 8B+K isn't exactly guaranteed. Depends on the matchup. But obviously that's better damage, and it's much more reliable. There's really no situation where you're going to want to do, or there's very few situations where you're going to want to go Avenger after that. So just keep that in mind. It is a very good move, though. It covers a lot of distance. It's a 2-hit mid. It's got long range. It'll catch step. The only problem is it's not super safe. So if you're reading, step or certain attacks, or if they're doing like something that takes some wind up from long range because they want to, get in, this is a good thing to throw out. So keep that in mind. 6B+K is your other big damage option. This is your non-lethal hit, so that's 6. It automatically goes into Avenger no matter what. So use 6B+K, A+B, 6-6B+K. It's got a little bit of tech crouch. I'm not sure what the deal with that is, but the main thing to note about it is you have to go into Avenger. You can't not. So it's mostly used for big punishes or really big reads when you just want, they're going to walk into it. Because then you get your full on. Let me show it off. Where are we? Attack. That's the technical true combo right there. So 6B+K, Avenger B+K, 6-6B+K for 78. And again, you might want to do this instead because it's pretty much guaranteed. Wow. You might want to do this instead. If I can do my frickin'... Well, you get the idea. I'm obviously not very on point tonight. So, yeah, short version, 6B plus K is your damage. 4B plus K doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Anything else I'm forgetting? That might matter, but not for this video. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, finally, Soul Charge. Well, Avenger and Soul Charge. They're kind of one and the same, so I guess we'll do Avenger first. You can go into it raw with B plus K. Should almost never do that. Maybe after Knockdown, maybe after Soul Charge if you think you can get away with gimmicks. I do it way too much. You probably shouldn't if you're trying to build good habits. You're going to want to get in by transitioning out of one of your other moves. So again, like 6A or 4A or 6BB or whatever. So keep that in mind. It has all the mix-up options it needs to be a legit mix-up. Sorry about that. Let's start with... every move in it is good. Every move serves a purpose, so I'm going to touch on every move. So there's A, which is like what I call Beyblade, or Hold A. Notice that one knocked down on normal hit. Or are we on counter still? Well, either way, the other one didn't knock down the same way, so to speak. So A, yeah, like quick knockdown to A, that pop-up knockdown. The second one the Hold A can actually ring out and is safe, does more damage, but it takes a little bit longer to start up. That's the main difference as far as anyone's concerned. It's a really, really good low. It catches step. The problem being that if you just don't charge it, it's not safe. So you've got to be careful, but it's also kind of your main punish. It's a lot of damage there. Because, you know, you're just coming from something like this, then you do that, and you've already chunked off a good portion of their life. Now then, his other one, or well, probably the most important one, K. So this is a really fast, like 13 frame low, but, and it obviously loops back into Avenger, so you can do it multiple times. The only problem is even on hit, technically, that's not true. Like, if they AA, they will beat the second K. So even though they took the hit, it's not fast enough. They can still AA out of it. That's where this comes in. So Avenger B is much faster and will beat just about anything if you hit them the last time, and it can lead back into Avenger. And if you want to get out of Avenger, you can BB. So they'll block the first hit and take the second one, and you'll get out. This is safe on block and a great way to get out of Avenger. The K is AA punishable. The A is, I don't even know, maybe 3B punishable or while rising B punishable. Just be careful with it. And then finally you have his other two, A plus B. Whoops. This is sort of a way to catch step. I'm not sure if it's safe on block or not. I don't use it enough, to be honest. It's a middle horizontal, though. You should use it a lot, especially if they're stepping, because it's a little bit safer than the A, I think. And then finally, if they're just locking up and turtling up, B plus K is great. That's a ton of damage, really fast, destroys the guard bar, and is super, super plus. I think it's his most plus guard break. Actually, I think this one is, but that's his second best. And it just gives you all the mix-up opportunities in the world. So that's his Avenger mix-up in a nutshell. You're basically going to go in and threaten this. You need to be close to them to threaten that. And then you're also going to use this for safer pressure. And then, you know, mix up the big damage options. Your A plus B, and your B plus K. So, finally, we have Soul Charge. Groh loves Soul Charge. You should use Reversal Edge a bit more than most people. I'm not going to go into that completely right now. Just know that K is probably your best payout. And it's because Groh just gets so much junk out of it. So here we go, full anime. There's no point because I'm going to be doing it a lot. So he gets a couple of important normal move extensions. So like 3B, B, that's a new combo. It does obviously quite good damage, and you know there's no skill involved in that, just 3BB, and he will do it on whiff, so that's kind of a good way to like get out of certain punishes and catch people by surprise. Will not work often, but the big thing is 1AK. Now you have to commit to that. You cannot hit confirm it, but that's a 78 damage low from a whole world away. One of the common things I'll do is go Soul Charge. Sorry, my computer's struggling. And they'll usually try to dash in and do something, so you just 1A and catch them. It is special middle, and it's super punishable. So 1A is like minus, I think it's like 16 or something. It's decently punishable. 1AK is minus 22 though, so be careful with that. It also will whiff the K follow-up if they're on the ground. So if you're reading them standing up, be careful. Excuse me. That right there, though, is the basis of a pretty powerful mix-up. It's risky for Groh, but you can 1A them and get a ton of damage, or you can 3B them and get a ton of damage. That's a mid and a low. Congratulations, easy mode mix-ups. The other low he gets, well, has, is 3BB, but now he can do 3BB6 and transition into Steed of Night, which I'll show you. That's that teleport there. So we're going to do a quick crash course on Steed of Night, and I'll actually put the gauge on. What do I want? You? Yeah. Yeah. So he gains a new stance here, and it's a little confusing because if you just go into Avenger, you can do 6 or you can do 4. 4 teleports you behind them, 6 teleports you in front of them. Out of that teleport, you get 3 moves. You get 6A, 3A, or sorry, A, B, and K is the easy way to think about it. So A, 2-hit guard break, really damaging, his highest damage combo starter in the game if they're next to a wall, or for him rather. B, which is just huge damage, and K, which is a mid and incredibly fast, and -2 on block, so incredibly safe, and it can also guard break, so it's a great way to finally pop their guard and get that last hit. So the cool thing is, you know, you can do the 4-1, and you'll dodge certain punishes or attacks because you'll teleport behind them, and they'll go whiff while you hit them from behind. In fact, you can just teleport behind them and go into a low or something. But if you use his canned transitions that he gains, so for example, 3BB, God, I hate that. 3BB gains a transition, but you can never teleport behind him from this transition. You always must go in front of him. But that said, it gives you a full combo, so let me show that off. If the second B hits, you guarantee the 6K, or the Steed of Night K, so to call it. It's really, really good because now you get lots of free damage off of lots of junk. So for example, 6AA guarantees the K, and then you can do a 6-6B+K if they don't tech. So suddenly that 6AA game is even more deadly because you can go into junk like this, or you can just commit to the whole thing and, you know, take off a third or fourth of their life. The other noteworthy soul charge moves are, let's see here, 4AB doesn't really matter, 6B+K kind of matters. This move is not great at all. It's got long range though, and if you're trying to space somebody out, you can actually teleport after it and get a free 6K, or teleport K now that you're in soul charge. And then finally, God, I'm forgetting one of them. What am I forgetting? Well, I'll go look really quickly. Sorry for the unprofessionalism. I'm literally just winging this as I go. It's been a long week, and I don't have a lot of time. Oh, yeah. So 4B, this move, it has a lethal hit. It's frustrating as hell. I'm not going to go into it. But note that it's the fastest way to get into that teleport. So even whiffing this and going is generally faster than that. And it's a little bit safer because you've got a hitbox and you're doing a step. So this is probably how you want to go into Avenger mix-ups if you're just trying to like do gimmicks and whatnot. The only problem is you can't teleport behind them from that. So if you want a raw teleport behind them, you've just got to B+K and teleport. If you want to just go though, like right now, whoops, my bad, you can 4B and go into something. So, you know, just mid from across the screen, or, you know, mid from the sky. Are there any others I need to mention? I think that's mostly it. Lethal hit, special moves, where's meter moves? God. Gauge attacks, that's what it's called. Okay, 3B, 1B, 4B, 2AB. Oh yeah, 2AB gets better. I'll show that off in a moment. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. 2AB. So just so you see, you get quite the range on that, and it does a good chunk of damage. So just remember that. As for general strategy with Groh, use your meter, please. I see a lot of people sitting on bars until the last match, and then they've got 2 bars and they try to blow them all. You should really be using it. His CE is not very good. It does more damage if you're in Soul Charge. So if you happen to have the 2 meters and you pop Soul Charge and you do something like this, congratulations, you get like, I want to say, what is this going to be? 140? Probably 130. But let's find out. 135. I was almost there. But for the most part, it's totally worth getting into this quickly because he gets so much better. That 1AK is such a threat, as is his now much better 3B, because now you're getting real damage off of it rather than Groh damage. And the teleports matter. Like, being able to 6AA... Oops, I'm so bad today. Into that is a ton of damage. And now you can actually end into this because you can teleport right back in afterwards and, go into a low out of nowhere. Don't get too ridiculous with it because people will just 2A you and punish you or throw out supers or whatever. But yeah, use your frickin' meter. Other than that, play safe. Groh doesn't have to risk a lot. You've got a few moves that can be punished pretty heavily, and you can take matches without ever fricking using them. So go in there and 6A them, or 6BB, 2AB, things like that that are just always plus on block, and force them to make a read. Don't let them just block and punish you. I think that's about it. I obviously kind of rushed through this just to keep it short, but I hope that gives people a general idea of what to do with Groh. I might, as I have time, just go over some of my replays and kind of show off, like, okay, here's where I was doing stuff right, here's where I was doing stuff wrong, here's what you should be doing. But apparently my computer's dying right now, so that's cool. And yeah, if you've got any questions or things you want to see, obviously comments and all that, and I'll see you all around.